Then when I finished school, there was a position here open. So I applied, and this was my first job right out of college, and it's like I knew I wanted to come here because I knew that these were the type of kids that I wanted to teach. And what keeps me here is just the relationships that you can build with these kids, and just all the different situations. I mean, yes, I'm a teacher, but there's so much more involved in it, and a lot of these kids need that parent figure. And I feel like, they say to me, you're like the mother, you're my mother here, and they know they can come to me for anything, and they can relate with me, and I can relate with them. Earlier, we actually read, before we did this unit, we did The Rosa Grew from Concrete, which was poems by Tupac Shakur. And the kids, I try to find things that they can relate to, but then take something out of. And and a lot of them said The Rosa Grew from Concrete, that poem. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that poem, but the idea is it started with a crack in the concrete, and the flower grew out of the concrete, and that was symbolizing him. He grew up in the inner city, but something beautiful came out of it. And this is kind of like what the kids can do. Most of the kids keep journals, diaries, and I always tell the kids that, write it down. If something's bothering you, write it down. Write yourself a letter. Write someone else a letter. It's a good way to express yourselves. And a lot of these kids, they listen to music, and they understand the lyrics of the songs they listen to. And sometimes that's the way to get to them. Just say, okay, well, if this was a song, write a song. Sometimes it gets emotional for them with what they write, but they feel better about it, and see them write something like that, and then to say, this is exactly how I feel. They're able to do it. And sometimes they need something like a picture to be a starting point. I was always the type of person that seeing something visually would always help me to get inspired. So that was one of the reasons why I started the whole idea of the nature photography. Let's go outside, let's take pictures of trees, and then when you do that, then write about it. Write about what that tree looks like. But don't say, the tree is tall, but say something else. Make yourself tall, like that tree. So that was, and it's just kind of, and the kids love it. They see it as fun because they can take pictures, and then they see it as rewarding because they can see the picture, then they can edit it, they can do interesting things to it, make it black and white, and then once they actually have it there, then they're inspired to write something about it. And it's, some kids really have taken this whole entire unit and just done amazing things with it. I think that the kids here get so much more one-on-one, and I feel like it's my obligation to give them that one-on-one. And I can't teach them until I understand them, and understanding them is the key. And we need to know what they're dealing with in their everyday lives. And you can do that in a public school too, but here everyone is so invested in each of these kids' lives. And even after they leave, I still keep in touch with so many of my students. It's just the idea that I can change their lives. And when I have students come back after so many years and say, you made an impact on me, it's worth everything.